just call my name. Hunting that 40, not here for fame. Just me and the lake, and a prayer in the dark, to break this blank, to leave my mark. Oh, Elphicks, hear me now. I've paid my dues, I've cast somehow. One more chance, one more bite, to feel that run in the dead of night. I'm chasing dreams in this.
Yes, people, welcome back to Wetlines. You join me, Ian Baker, down on a bank for another 48 hours on a mission to clear this blank. We still haven't caught a fish this year, so now we're on Elphicks Fisheries and we're on Prairie Lake. It's looking for the first time this year it'll be a dry weekend, sunny weekend. Whether that helps with the fishing or not, who knows. I'm having a chill in this nice little shady spot here because otherwise I can't see myself. But yeah, we're on Elphicks Fisheries, we're on Prairie. Well, we're in swim number 1 if you've ever fished at the lake before. Roadside, furthest one along, kind of the last one along that side. So yeah, I came down here this morning. It's currently Saturday morning. It is the, I think, 5th of April. And I had my ambitions to try and get either in the swim plus the other side on their own, or one around the other side, but they were all taken. Swim 1 was vacant. I quite like swim 1, so we're in swim 1. Not long, got all my 3 rods out, so we'll go over that in a little bit of detail in a minute, but not too much, because why would I? I ain't caught a fish in them yet. But in layman's terms, we got 3 rods out. We got 1 on the far margin. That's on a new little test bait from Eclipse Bait, so we'll see how that fares. And I tell you what, when I cast that out after making a meal of getting it where I wanted it, got it right where I wanted it, and about a minute or 2 later, a big old carp jumped out right near it. So that got me quite excited, but nothing's come of that now, so he's probably jogged on. Second rod, just put down this right hand margin with the old baiting pole, quite close in here to the right. There's a little bit of a gap where there's not really any reedy weeds stuff. Dolloped in the one in there on a yellow pop-up, a pineapple butric pop-up, just over a lovely little dollop of you know, the mixture of baits we got going on here, the virus, the pellets, the create your own, all in a nice little custody goo, chucked down there. And then my left rod, far left rod, that's just out on a zig rig with a little black foam about 1 foot under the surface, because I'm sure I've seen some fish cruising around on the surface. But there's also times where there's big shoals of little fish that make me think it's a big fish, but I'm pretty sure I've seen some knocking about. And yeah, so we're pretty excited. I need to get me a carp. It is now April and I've been out on I think 3 sessions this year so far, I think 3 or 4. And we're still blanking. We're changing that on this session. This session, I'm catching a carp. In fact, this session, I'm catching more than 1 carp. I'm feeling positive. You've got to speak things into reality. PMA, I'm catching some fish on this session. So yeah, stay tuned. And with any developments that will coming shortly, we'll be seeing them shortly. See you in a bit.
Elphicks, give me that dream.
Rightio people, little update for you. Yeah, it's been an absolute scorcher today. I've no idea what temperature, but pretty darn warm. And basically, absolutely nothing's happened. I've not heard a single alarm go off on this lake. On Sandwich it's popping off, but different lake. In the last hour or so, I've seen quite a lot of fish in this corner of the lake. Now they are all just cruising on top. Naturally, because I've had my zig rig out there all day anyway, been readjusting that, recasting it, changed from a black foam to a yellow foam. Tried it at different levels. So at the minute I'm literally just underneath the water, underneath the surface, because they are literally just cruising around right underneath. But they don't seem very much interested in feeding at the minute. So, with that being said, I've been preparing myself, because I've got the dog biscuits, got me surface controller, just been making some rigs, so that as soon as I see a fish entertain a biscuit, I know you can still surface fish with the zig rig, but it's just easier. I'm going to take that bad boy out and we're going to put the surface controller on there and we're going to try and do a bit of surface fishing, but at the minute not really worth it because they're not entertaining it. But we've still got the zig rig out there. There's been quite a few absolute G units coming down the side here. In fact, I can see one from here, just cruising right up in the along the marge arm. So hopefully, when it cools down, the fish will stay in this area. They'll go down to the bottom and find my other rigs. But it's one of them days where you're just not probably going to catch a fish during the day. You know, it's probably at least 18, 20 degrees today. It's a beautiful day, but not what you need for fishing. There was an absolute beast of what looked like a ghosty common down there. So I really want to catch that. That looked like an upper 20, if not probably 30, because it looked fat. And I threw some dog biscuits near that. Now my exciting point is it didn't really go for the biscuit, but it did give it a bit of that action outside the water. So hopefully he's still knocking about and we can get hold of that later, because that looked a beast. But anyway, for now, not a lot's happening. So I'm just going to sit back down here, relax a bit. Hopefully when it gets a bit cooler, about 5 or 6, hopefully the wind will do one, because I can't tell anything with the wind there. And we'll see if we can get some surface fishing going. I'm feeling confident. There's a lot of fish knocking about in my area. It's just whether they're going to be on the munch or not. So, stay tuned. Rightio people, it's now the next morning. Obviously no success yet, but last night I did get quite a few annoying, I want to say liners, but it seemed a bit more than a liner, you know. Every hour, half hour, one of my bobbins would pull up a bit, go down a bit. There's a fish jumping out of it. Yeah, it would keep pulling up, pulling down. I was just waiting, thinking it must be going to happen, and it never did. But anyway, new morning, new day, new tactics, new everything. So, currently only got 2 rods out. I can have 3. We'll think about that in a minute. The first rod I put out, got that birch tree just to the left of it. Not close to the island, but fairly close. Put out there a solid bag. Now, I've not really endeavoured in using solid bags in my life yet. Now I know to some of you that might think that's a bit crazy, but ultimately I've only used what I know how to use. I'm just trying to learn. You know, I ain't no expert around here. Just because I have a YouTube channel does not mean I know everything about fishing. That's more Tony's bag. Not really. So this is one of the first times I'm properly going to try to use a solid bag. So we've banged that out there. So that had a lot of 2mm pellet in, and then some of this fizzy bag mix. I'm sure you can guess by the name what that's going to do. That's just going to effervesce, knock about in there. And then we just put one on a little already brown coloured Eclipse Baits virus wafter on that. So that's there. The other rod that I've just whacked out, you've got the birch tree I just said about. Next one along that's set back in line with that, close to the reeds. Just done 2 sweet corn over it, and then I went round there and just chucked a can of corn all over the gaff. A small can, I may add. So we've gone corn on that one, virus wafter on that one, so a fish mealy bait and some sweet corn. Because annoyingly enough, I've had my rods out there all night. I took them in to redo them, so I go to the toilet, get everything done. I take them in, I sit down, and a fish jumped out twice. Right on my spot. Almost immediately, as if to say, meh, mugged you off. So, not overly happy about that. It's almost as if these fish very much know that our stuff's there, and as soon as you take it out, they'll move in. But there we go. So far, nothing's going on. Looks like it's going to be another warm, sunny day again, so that's not overly helpful. We'll see if we can get them on the surface, but they weren't having it yesterday. Even when I saw the ones literally underneath my rod tips. Nah, they weren't about that life. So yeah, that's all what's happening for now. Fingers crossed I get a carp. I don't want to sound desperate, but I'm getting a bit desperate. It's quite depressing. But PMA, I'm going to catch a carp. You are going to see that very shortly, so stay tuned and I'll see you in a bit. Oh, rightio people, it is an absolute scorcher again. I've been trying my best to get them off the surface. They're on the surface, that's when it picks it up on the camera. It's just here, look, all these minging around here. At the minute, they're not playing ball and taking it, but they're paying attention. Down this right hand side, quite a way down the right hand side, I've seen it all start to get a bit churned up a bit. There's 100% the carp feeding down there. It comes up on camera here, it's clouding up here. The fish is just there. Don't mind that one. This is where I put the sweet corn. Hopefully he's hungry for sweet corn. Far right. Right up the margin. Walk round there, all clouded up, lovely. So I quickly whipped out my rod that had the sweet corn on. Pinged that right down at kind of the edge of the cloud and threw a bit of sweet corn in as freebie. Hoping that whatever's down there is hungry and it's going to get on mine. It's got me very excited, but for now I'm going to carry on trying to get these little fellas on the munch because it is currently 3 PM and I've had no success yet with anything. And these fish on the surface are doing my head in, but I'm not giving up. I'll stand here all day if I have to. But yeah, down there, clouding up, so there's at least one fish on the munch, so fingers crossed we get that one. Thank the Lord my blank is over. It's not big. I do not care. Yes. Oh. There we go people, at last, finally. Fish number 1 of the year. It's certainly not a record breaker, but it's made me a very happy man. Maybe one of the smallest in the lake. I couldn't care less. There we go. Not even sure if that's 10 pounds, but do I care? Absolutely not. Beautiful, mint little common. That one come off the little stirred up area where I put the corn, hoping there was going to be a fish. And there we go, at last. The first fish of 2025. A lovely little common from Prairie Lake. Thank goodness. Well, goodness me, people. Don't think I've ever been so happy to catch such a small carp in my life. It's been tough fishing this year so far. I keep getting the weather you least want. It's either really cold or apparently now really hot. I've been working so hard today. There's not much of it I've vlogged because I didn't think it was going to work, but I've been trying to surface fish, been looking for signs of life, moving other things. It just so happened to be that down that area where I've caught that fish is where I saw it clouding up, which I showed you. And I flung the old corn down there, scattered a few freebies down there with the corn. And we got our first fish of 2025. Goodness me. And for a first, I actually got the take live on the old action cam. So that's the future, I love that. Can't wait to watch that back, because that was a savage take, which probably explains why it's such a small fish. Never gets old, does it? That feeling, the adrenaline rush. It's so ridiculous when you talk to people that don't do fishing to explain it to people, but when you've gone nearly 2 days of nothing, and then suddenly, bang, your alarm goes and you're into top gear. Because it's the first fish of the year, oh, I panicked. I didn't panic, I just really wanted to get it in. That fish weren't bullying me. I was dominating that fish. I needed that in the net. And thank goodness it's in the net. So, it is now 4:45 in the PM. So if anything, we're just coming up to the best time to be fishing, especially when the weather's been like this. So to update, because again, didn't really say much about it. The corn, I've just put that back roughly in the same kind of vicinity. The other rod is down the same right-hand margin, but a lot nearer than me. Did a little solid bag on that one with the Elvirus wafter on it, because there's been a lot of fish today mingling down this about margin. Now, I'm fully aware that might be because this is the shallow end. It might be, I've no idea. And they just like it here and then they jog on, but I'm hoping they don't. As soon as I cast that rod back out, the corn one, about 4 rod lengths to the left, carp jumped out, so there's still fish in my area. It's very exciting. I'm very happy. If you're as happy as me, hit that like button, and if you've not already, hit that subscribe button. And let's see if we can get some more in a bit.
Wide awake, all the memories are on replay. I reach for you, but you're thousands of miles away.
Rightio people, so it's now just gone 6 PM. So I've committed to the fact that surface fishing is not going to happen. So I've got the 3rd rod out. Put the double sweet corn on that one as well. And the chap that was fishing next to me's left. Now he hadn't caught anything, but I decided to put one of my rods roughly where he was fishing, just because it's another baited spot. Can you see that from here? Dunno. But basically, birch tree, double tree, a single tree in the middle, just in front of that, if you can see them. If not, I'll overlay it. But the thing that I'm going to let you know about here is a cracking little app that meant I didn't need to let up to find how far that was. Used the app, wrapped up to what that said, cast it there in absolute perfection. So whether you've got a new direction bait boat or not, I highly advise you get the app, right? Let me show you on here. Because on this app, you can basically use the map view, put a marker where you are standing and casting, put the marker where you're going to cast to, and it will tell you in rod lengths, feet, meters and all that kind of thing, whichever one you want, the distance. So I did it. So maybe overlay this, let me screenshot this for you. And it said it was 13.1 rod lengths from me to basically where that tree is, so call it 13 wraps. So I wrapped it up to 13 wraps and it was absolutely perfection. So that's what the app says. Again, I'll overlay it if it doesn't show it very well. So, as you can see, that marker is where I'm stood. That's where I want to cast. And then you go up on this bad boy, and you've got distance. So you can change it to meters, yards, feet, or rod lengths. And like I said, I put that on there, and it said it was 13.1. I wrapped up the 13, and I'm literally lovely, snug, right up against them margins, quite snug up against them reeds. So then I walk round again, throw just a little bit of corn there, just so that my corn's, not the one blatant obvious one. Did we get that? Big old carp just jumped out over there. Not many people left on fishing at the minute. I think maybe 2. Most people have gone. This is your Sunday evening vibe. Most people go. I'm obviously on until tomorrow lunchtime. So for the final night, I have all 3 rods out. Obviously each night prior, which is only one night. Last night I only had 2 rods out because I was waiting for the other one to be on the surface or zigging. But yeah, got all 3 rods out. We've got the first carp in the net for 2025. Truly cannot explain how happy I am about that, even though it was tiny. A fish is a fish. The buzz I got from that alarm going off was well worth it. But anyway, like I said, 6 PM now. I'm going to crack on, have some dinner, sit back, watch out the water, because there was a carp that jumped out not far from where I put that corn. I literally cast the one, my 3rd rod out to that point, about 2 minutes later while I was letting the line set. About 4 rod lengths to the right, a nice big old carp jumped out. So it's feeling active, it's looking good. I don't want to be greedy. If I could get a second one, I'd be over the moon. So stay tuned and see if I can achieve that in a bit. There we go, people. The extra rod I put out with the corn. I think another fish. Beautiful. Come now. Easy. Take what's popping off there. Cool down, the sun's gone. There we go, people. The third rod on the double corn. Come on. What time is it? It's not that long. It hasn't been out there that long, that rod. She's a beauty. Let's get it out. I need to get this rod back out ASAP. Bang on. Here we go then, people. We've got ourselves a second one again. Not a giant, but boy, I'm buzzing. There you go. Another lovely common. And hopefully, the second of potentially some more to come. It's getting very active out there. And this is the one on the third rod I put out over on the far left margin at 13 wraps. Very happy with that. So I'll get it back, get the rod back out there. Fingers crossed we can get hold of a bigger one. Hold up now. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh. Nope, we lost it. Snafu. Well, that is deeply unfortunate. That was the solid bag one. Had a take, lost it. Devastating. Rightio, people, so before I put that rod back, I'll just show you what was going on here. Because as much as I lost the fish, I'll be honest with you, I'm pretty delighted that I got a take on it. Because it's what I'm using is the old solid bags, and again, to some of you it may seem weird, but I've never entertained using solid bags in my fishing before. But again, another thing I'm trying to develop my skills, develop what I use, hence the zig rigs, hence solid bags. So that is my solid bag. Again, I know there's a lot of you that say do this, do that with it, but I'm only casting it literally 6 or 7 rod lengths. It ain't far, and I know you could, lick the corners down, do all this and all that, but I don't need to do that. It ain't going far. And that had the Eclipse virus wafter on it, so a little bit annoyed that I've lost it, but delighted that I know my solid bag technique has worked. So we're going to get this back out there now, because that's nearly 3 fish in not many hours. And inside this, it says it's got the 2mm Supreme Cream pellets and some of the fizzy powder or whatever it's called from Eclipse. I can't remember what it's called. I showed you earlier. So I'm gonna put that back out. Fingers crossed we get that third one in. But I suppose they're the perils of using barbless hooks. They get off. But anyway, I'm gonna get this back out. There was a rat having a fight with a coot down here a minute ago. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before. Proper domestics. Now, awkward world of casting in the dark. Where am I going? Really matter. As long as it's not in the weeds. Yep, didn't really want that there, but that'll do. It's not far off. A bit further away from the margin than I wanted it, but there it is. Oh, that's the beauty of a solid bag. No matter how many lights you set up, faffing around in the dark fishing is never that easy, is it? There we go, we're fishing again. So yeah, fingers crossed we get another one. Got 2 out there on double corn, 1 on an Eclipse baits virus. That's the one I just lost the fish on. Looking like a good evening. Let's crack on.
Finally broke the streak, I'm alive. 2 commons on the bank, feeling revived. 2025, you took your time, but Wetlines rides again, rhythm and rhyme. Set the hook, felt the fight. That's what we live for, that's our life.
Rightio people, so it is now Monday morning, as you obviously assumed. After that last fish I lost, no more action, nothing's happened. Pretty much 90% packed up, everything's pretty much gone. Just me and the rods and the essentials left. So I'm booked on till 12, it's currently 10:26. So I'm pleasantly ahead of schedule in that department. But yeah, so unless there's another fish in the next hour and a half, then it's probably going to be the end of the vlog. So I do hope you've enjoyed the video. I've tried my absolute best to get a fish on this session. It has been ridiculous, but thankfully in the end we got hold of 2. They were nothing special, nothing big, but they're special in just the fact that they're the first fish of the year and a massive relief and a massive weight off my shoulders. So very happy to get them in the net. So the next video on the channel will be our first collaboration video on Wetlines. Tony will be there and another YouTube channel will be there. We won't divulge who yet, but you've either watched them or you've not, you'll either care or you don't. But either way, we got our first collab video coming up. That will be on a venue that we have fished before, but not for a very long time. That'll be back at Elphicks Fisheries. Man down! Deal with the admin's got. Good stuff, boy, yeah.
No, it's not. That's fixed. Oh, I said I don't really care, to be honest.
That is Jeff. So that is something to look forward to. So that's again our next session, our next video on here after this one will be a collaboration video with another YouTuber on Elphicks Fisheries down in Kent. So if you want to see what happens there, hit that subscribe button and stay tuned. That'll be coming up next. And like I said, Tony will be there. He's going to be on at least the next 2 sessions now. So if you're all about Wetlines because you're a big time Tony fan, I get it. He'll be back real soon. Next few videos. But yeah, so from me and Prairie Lake at Elphicks Fisheries, keep those lines wet and I'll see you at Elphicks in a bit.
On Wetlines, every cast is a sign. So here's to lakes, to mates, to time, to every blank that builds the climb. Prairie Lake, you were kind today, and Wetlines sails on, come what may.